Mm-hmm. 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 Ah, hello there. Good afternoon, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the Greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to yet another Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation, as well as its Head Containment Specialist. And as we have been doing for the past 5.5 months and change, I have been streaming daily. The streak remains strong, opening my door for somewhere between 30 minutes to 3 hours a day to answer your burning questions about the inner mysteries of the SCP Foundation. Now, whether those questions are about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who get really salty about the whole containing thing, I mean, seriously, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e., fandom. I am here for the next 3 hours to answer your questions about the Foundation. So, before we begin, let me start with our housekeeping of the day. Junior Researcher Sally, congratulations on being the most punctual and being the first chatter of today's stream. Congratulations and thank you for being here. Along with you, Junior Researcher Sally, Dr. Frogman, Dr. Cullivan, America, Jace, Scarlet Fox, Old Bull, Anna and Friends, Amber, A.A. Blackwood, Dr. Puppeteer, Light Steve, Dark Duality, Legendary Doge, if I didn't get you yet, Silent Follower, Junior Researcher HLG, Chest to Factory, The Rose Wine Sis, everyone I have just named, thank you for being here in an exceptionally punctual manner, and thank you for being members. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, Chucker, Goober, Michael, Lua, and Jason, welcome to chat. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you today. Now, as I began that intro, we hit a couple donations. Let me get those real quick. America, welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. We appreciate you upgrading from Level 1 Researcher to Mobile Task Force Captain tier membership. Thank you so much for your service. Meanwhile, Atlas Class Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a grapefruit on your way past the commissary. Does Dr. Ivo Robotnik from the Sonic franchise work for the Foundation? By the way, we at the security department really want that additional funding. Well, yes, the more funding we can get around these parts, the better. The low-budget containment life is stressful. But no, Dr. Ivo Robotnik does not work for the Foundation. Obviously, the Robotnik side of things would be more of a group of interest slash, I guess, person of interest, but with an army, so a little bit of both. I would go with person of interest, because it is just, well, Dr. Wondertainment is one guy with a whole organization. Let me know what you think in the chat. Would the Robotnik army be a group of interest, or would Dr. Robotnik simply be a person of interest? I think it could go either way. Meanwhile, Base, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a chicory coffee on your way past the commissary. Welcome to mobile. Two things. First, Reggie hid several small speakers in Clef's office to play Baby Shark. Love it. Also, if Playtime Co. was an SCP, how would you contain it? Well, it is just a factory, which means as long as things aren't escaping the factory, we just have to set up a perimeter. I love when anomalies stay in the house. Makes life a lot easier. The Talented X, welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the fighting that you will do to help us win the battle against the White Names. And Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service and the research you're doing to help us win the battle against the White Names. One more day until we know what happened to Steve. I think you're rushing the process a little bit. We've gotten up to Steve's 10th birthday with 067 right now. So, Steve being 30 years old, it's going to take a little more than 1 day to get to modern day. But we're still waiting on it. We're taking care of Steve. The whole memory loss issue hasn't abated. So the Nestics haven't helped yet. Mobile Task Force Captain Hikari. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your membership and happy actual birthday today. Congratulations. The Talented X, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as becoming a member. Make sure to grab yourself a nice chocolate croissant on your way past the commissary. Greetings, Dr. Sherman. Reassigned from Mobile Task Force Gamma 5 to this site. Oh, okay. I understand. Sometimes being on the Mobile Task Forces can be a lot, and you want to set down some roots in a nice site and find some regular friends to hang out with for a bit and find a little stability. I get that. Welcome to Stationary Security Forces. Brianna Taggart, welcome to Mobile Task Force Captainship here at Site 42. Or no, thank you for your 1-month member message as a Mobile Task Force member. But you didn't say anything, so just thank you for the member message and thank you for your membership and your service. And Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. Wait, we started? Yes, we started yesterday. See what happens when you miss a stream? Or even just aren't paying attention? Sometimes it just... whoosh. Why does everyone say my name wrong? Well, if it's got a pronunciation outside of the common pronunciation that I'm familiar with, that would be why. I'm wondering how else it could be said, though. Billy the Go-Go, thank you for your 1-month member message. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you're doing to help us win the battle against the White Names. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I hope you are doing well today. I'm doing okay. I'm a bit sleepy, but we will persevere. I'm having some browser difficulties. Allow me to refresh this real quick. What are you fussing about? Okay, we're back up and running. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. I had paperwork. I told you this. Yes, well, you see what doing paperwork does at the foundation. Sometimes it's very important protocols, and sometimes you miss very important things. You got to balance yourselves out here. You got to balance yourself out here. So, before we get to the general yapping of today's stream, the stream title, the subject of today, is not particularly deep. If you go to the channel in your subscription feed, you will see today's thumbnail provided to us by TheLocalMedic, TheLocalMedic in the Site42 Discord server. Reminder of a couple things before you even go hunting. The Site42 Discord server requires you to be 18 and up, just like the SCP Wiki does. So don't go looking for it unless you are of age to join and will follow the rules. B, I'm not going to tell you where it is. It's an Easter egg hunt. You got to be intrepid as an adventurer to find it. So work for it. But thirdly, yes, some say that I grew this mustache goatee combination and dyed my hair to escape the "you look like Matt, Pat, and Jerma" allegations. I will not dignify those accusations with a response, nor will I take any credence of the theories that Jerma is just Sherman with a J and an N swapped at the beginning and end. That is not, well, it is factually true, but it is not relevant to the conversation. Furthermore, not all theater kids are the same guy. Not all theater kid, white boys, musical theater people are the same guy. It's just not that. It's just not that way. There is no canon, but there is no also parallel universe of mass-produced musical theater kids out there in the world propagating the YouTube airwaves. It's just not what's happening. Captain Metal, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, what would happen if you turned into SCP-049-2 instead of Raymond Ham? Well, Director Ethan, I don't think this is a very complicated question. I would be dead and would have no input on the furtherance of the universe of the SCP Foundation. I don't know what Dr. Ham would do, but I know that I wouldn't have a say in it at that point, huh? I like the blue in your hair. Well, thank you, Crisis. I appreciate it. We're doing a little peacock theme, although it's faded over the last little bit. And speaking of my hair, reminder that if we manage to reach the goal of 2,500 green names, channel memberships, by the end of the month, then we will attempt to dye my hair pink instead the next time around. Right now, we are currently at 1,710 is what the channel analytics say. So we are well within range of making that happen, depending on the amount of gifted memberships that are given. So, this is what you guys asked for. Your number is set. Good luck. Base, thank you for donating again. By the way, that AI Rambly that Dr. Everwood got me, I taught it how to tune into Global Occult Coalition and Chaos Insurgency radio frequencies. Despite having no true human emotions, I feel weirdly proud. Is this normal? Well, The artificial intelligence version of Pride is getting a proper response on a query and being affirmed by user that you have succeeded. That's how language models are trained anyways. They pop something out and you tell them, yes, that's right, or no, that's wrong. So if you say that's right, then the model continues doing what it's doing, a form of pride, I guess. So, I guess it's not that abnormal. SCP-049, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, I guess, some marinara at the commissary because you pasta'd the antipasta. Please help. I do not comprehend, which is like comprehending. I do not comprehend what you mean there. You really like spinning pencils. Well, yes, intern Jojo, I like to have something to do with my hands. Indeed. In SCP terms, what is the most weirdest SCP you know? Well, intern Spooner, first of all, what do you mean in SCP terms? Because, I mean, the weirdest SCP I know, everything SCP, reminder, is weird. It's anomalous. It's not normal. So by definition, every SCP is weird. But I think today what I'll tell you is the weirdest SCP. You know, the answer changes every day. I'm going to go with what I believe is SCP-8320. SCP-8320. Yes. SCP-8320, codename 700 Million Wizards. SCP-8320, codename 700 Million Wizards, is the day that every single cat on Earth turned into an adult human male wizard. Oh, no, they are not all males. They are the spectrum of gender. Interesting. I thought they were all men based on the photo. Serves me right for assuming. Now I am the ass. But this is at least one of the aforementioned wizards. And the only, I mean, obviously this breached secrecy immediately because all cat owners had one to several wizards in their homes out of nowhere. And the only way to quell the problem was to shoot the wizards in the head with a gun. And this turned them back into cats. And so there was, in fact, a very strong worldwide effort to go wizard hunting. I think that was pretty weird. Fandom Theorist, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself a falafel on your way past the commissary. Would an IRL SCP museum be possible? So let's think of what you're looking at here. If a museum in real life, not talking fiction, not talking, we're talking about a real museum about SCP. What you're talking about, A, is you need a building. B, you need some community of artists to essentially make models, one-to-one models of the SCPs to tour the museum. And so, in that way, I'm not saying it's impossible, but what you're dealing with is the effects of capitalism on art. How appropriate after yesterday's opening conversation. And you'd need enough tourism to fund the project at that point, which is a pretty hard sell for a very small, niche internet micro community. I mean, I'm not saying anything's impossible, but I'm saying that's a pretty hard sell. Now, would it be cool if someone like Meow Wolf did a SCP-themed installation? Because they have the budget to do such a thing, and it's like an SCP haunted house / containment site where you can interact with anomalies, and there are actors paid to play them. Is that something that could be fun? Because I used to work for Busch Gardens Howl O Scream in their haunted houses for several years. And so in a world where, even just for a season, a spooky season, you had an SCP-themed haunted house people could go through. That would be fun. And yes, an SCP escape room. That could be a little more permanent because it's a smaller fixture. But it's an escape room where it was themed like a cell or something, or a site, and you could go through a couple rooms, and there were anomalies. There are a lot of ways this could be interesting, and thanks to the Creative Commons, as long as you are citing your sources and giving credit, you're allowed to monetize SCP projects. Therefore, this is just waiting on the table for someone who wants to run with it. Maybe one day we'll get big enough to do it ourselves. Pinky and Anna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being members. Make sure to grab yourself a scone on your way past the commissary. Anna says, hey, Doc, not really having a good day, but I hope you have a good day. The character I found out my father got into a wreck. Oh, that's very dire. I hope that everything is okay medically in that scenario. Please take care of yourself and your family in this time. Fractured Whisper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Far off, better making a virtual VR SCP museum, no limitation on space or interactivity. Yes, and I mean, basically, that's what something like VR chat could facilitate immediately. It's just the matter of, there's the, I don't know. I'm not big on the metaverse, on VR hangout spaces myself. I am much more about the tactile interaction in person. Just the aspect of it. Now, when I did play Control for the first time, the Remedy Games game that's basically off-brand SCP, they did admit in an interview that they were inspired by SCP, at least in some ways, which you can tell by playing the game. Great game, by the way. The first time I walked into the oldest house and I was walking through the hallways, I felt nostalgia for a place I had never been before in real life, because I had been an SCP fan for a while before that. And so, yeah, there is something to say for an online space having some emotional realness, but I don't know. I still want IRL stuff. You know what I mean? Azir and Francisco, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Scrolling. Nope. Come back. Don't freak out on me, chat here. Base, thank you for donating again. By the way, one of the dumber interns told 079 about 5094. Oh, yes. Let's not have 079 interact with Miss J. I don't want Miss J teaching it anything. Ugh. Pancake Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And wow, it's been a while. Good to see you, buddy. Make sure to grab yourself some hot cocoa on your way past the commissary. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I haven't been here in a while. Indeed, good to see you. I hope you're having a great day. It's still rather early here and I'm tired. Oh, trust me, it's not that early here and I am still tired. But that's part and parcel of the activity and work I've been doing. We've been upping the streams back up to their full 3-hour office hours recently, which is a nice improvement. Woo! But I tell you, it is endurance yapping for that long and keeping up with all you guys. You don't make it easy on me either with all your mentions of terrible anomalies that we shouldn't discuss because they're awful. But I am the site director. I have a responsibility to do my job around here. So, anyways, yes, take care of yourself, get some coffee. Let's keep this train rolling. The Talented X, thank you for donating again. Solved the Easter egg hunt. I'd be a poor red herring if I couldn't find it. Congratulations on your success. You know, the SCP Wiki is free for anyone to join. But it's not just that you can join it immediately. There are some, how I should say, barriers in place. Not difficult barriers by any means, but they are barriers for those who are unserious, undetermined, and therefore would likely not put in good work to the SCP Wiki. So, just a few simple hurdles to jump, nothing too crazy, nothing insane, but we gotta know you want it. Because in life, like so many things, to get the job you want, to get the talent you want, to get the skills you want, to get everything you desire, you gotta want it. And you gotta want it enough to go for it. True of most things you can do, true of the SCP Wiki, and of writing SCPs. You gotta want it, and you gotta want it in a way that you are determined to practice and get the skills to do it. And you gotta want it to join our little Discord server. SCP-049, thank you for donating again. I set my cell on fire. Don't ask. This is fine. I told them not to give you that chemistry set. I said your privileges were removed. And they said, oh, no, that's just about live subjects. We can give it the chemistry set. And look what happens. Who was right? I was right. I was right. I was right. Idiots. The Talented X, thank you for donating again. How often do mods on the Discord server update roles? Just signed up and followed instructions. Well, the roles that you choose are the ones that you want. They're automatically done by bots in the server, so you don't have to worry about the moderators to get your roles. I highly recommend the one called the Live Alert role. It's the one I ping at the beginning of every stream so you know when I go live, because sometimes the YouTube subscription notification bell can be unreliable. Twin-1, thank you for your joining of a level 1 researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. And I do believe, I think I saw you say that you also were the creator of the meme that is our thumbnail today. So good to know that I can put a YouTube username to a Discord username. There are too many usernames in the chat in general, so I apologize if I forget that immediately. But I'll do my best. And thank you for the dank meme. Ever since I found this channel, I've looked at the SCP Wiki a lot more. I'm glad I did. Thank you for directing me and everyone else there. Intern Reed? Hell yes. Hell yes. At the end of the day, Site 42 is a combination of 3 things. A theater kid, an audience, and a funnel to the SCP Wiki to support the authors, the animators, the artists, the filmmakers, the game devs, etc. So I am glad to hear you are doing what so many SCP fans will never do, which is go to the actual Garam website. Bless you. And by bless you, I mean a blessing from our infinite fish lord, the fish that just goes on forever. Forever may it rain. May we find the head or the tail. Amen. Let's get drunk at work. SCP-5320. Pancake Dragon, thank you for donating again. You have blue hair and pronouns. You're great. I am, at least for the current time being, a blue-haired liberal. You are correct. How appropriate. Are you an SCP? Intern MM. I am not listed as an SCP on the SCP Wiki, therefore I am not an SCP. In fact, there's still questions as to whether I or not I am anomalous. You see, I've thought that I am non-anomalous this entire time, as is my pen non-anomalous. But my author is an indecisive idiot who got confused about his own lore, and now I'm stuck in a quantum superposition of being anomalous and non-anomalous at the same time. We will see if this Shermdinger's cat is ever resolved. Hayden, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some rump roast on your way past the commissary. I cast Galstone. Well, I mean, SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, is not just a gal stone. It is a stone that can turn you into a guy or a gal. Or sometimes, if you are non-binary, it has very unpredictable effects. We did turn one researcher into a cat girl. So, you know, I think it's a little simplistic to call it a just a gal stone. It does a lot of weird things. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Idea for an escape room. Someone is dressed up as SCP-173, and the group has to keep an eye on the statue in order to find the way out. What about, instead of having, okay, so here's the deal. 173 kills you if you blink. So, while having everyone have to watch it is a fun mechanic, you're also dealing with somehow having to gauge when they blink, and you have an actor in there who can't move that fast. What if instead we had 035 in a case there, and the case can't be opened? We don't want people actually trying to put on the mask that will burn them alive with acid. But we can have a microphone with an actor conversing with them the whole time, giving them hints in return for favors. Maybe the more you get help from 035, you have a worse ending because it gets to do things. What about, it could lie to you. It could do all sorts of things. It could mock you throughout your trial. So I like that as an idea. Plus, you don't have to have the actor in the setting, which means that you're not endangering someone if some crazy patrons come in. I worked in the haunted houses. Myself and many of my friends in the rank and file were molested, both by the term and by, like, fist punching. So be cool to the haunted house people, by the way. You're paying to come and get spooked. And if you have that necklace that says don't get spooked, we respect that. Just don't punch the scare actors or other touchy-feely things. Spooky season's coming. Be responsible spooks. Or I guess responsible spookies to the spookers. The Talented X, thank you for donating again. To access the full Discord, it is said to post age verification and reading the rules. The rest of the server is locked down until that's added. Ah, I see. Then yes. In that case, I do believe you do need to wait for that. My apologies. Yeah, that'll take a minute, but your time will come. Our moderators are pretty on the ball. Did I tell you about the time my brother kicked a haunted house actor where the sun don't shine? They better have apologized. Fight or flight is a thing. Sometimes accidents happen. But, yeah. Yeah. I hope they apologized and, like, made recompense because, Yeah, no, they're definitely, the protocol a lot of the time is for the scare actor to follow their assaulter at a distance to the end of the house and then tell law enforcement, who are usually stationed at the gate, to get them. So be careful. And just like rule number 0 of the internet as well as the SCP Wiki, don't be a dick. Epic Fire Dragon, Dr. Darkstar, welcome to Overseer membership here at Site42. We appreciate the upgrade. Welcome to being the boss in the battle against the White Names. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chicken tender plate on your way past the commissary. Under the strange video of yours, someone mentioned SCP-2119 could be a reason for it. Under the strange video of yours, someone mentioned 2119 could be a reason for what? So, I am confused on two parts. Number 1, what is the strange video? And number 2, what is people mentioning 2119 a reason for? I'm just out of sorts with your reference here. And while I wait for Dark Duality to respond, I know there was a Ko-Fi notification I saw here. We appreciate people who donate through the Ko-Fi, which is located in our support link, which is the pinned link in the chat, because YouTube takes about 30% of every donation, super chat, membership, etc. But Ko-Fi only takes 15%. So a little more bang for your buck on donations. We appreciate the effort. Chester Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a pint of ice cream on your way past the commissary. I'm currently working on the starts of an SCP point-and-click game. Right now, the only anomalies I can think of including are Josie the Half-Cat and SCP-420-J. Any other suggestions for SCPs to include in the demo? So when you say point-and-click, what is the scenario? Is this a... what's the word I'm looking for? Is this an adventure game? Is this a cozy game? Because that would change the anomalies I would include. For instance, what you've listed here sound like cozy games. You know, you get your cat, you get your elevating substance. But if it's an adventure game, I would think of something a little more stakes-wise. You know what I mean? All right, jumping in to check on Dark Duality. In the meantime, Twin-1 and Yuji, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dun, 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 dun. Perhaps we have lost Dark Duality for the moment. Or at least not seeing anything. SCP-049, thank you for donating again. Please keep SCP-113 away from me. Sorry for the fire. Well, we can only do so much when you keep stealing it. Now, maybe it's one of your multiversal variants, I don't know. But, trust me, I mean, the SCP-049 I'm most familiar with has a deal for free access to the gender-switching stone. So, you need to argue with yourself over that one. I'm not getting in the middle of that. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for your member message. Hey, Doc, I am out of medical. Good to be back in my dorm and on the site floor. Ready to get back to research, and I'm going to get a teriyaki chicken plate from the commissary. Who should I research for first? Well, perhaps, since it's such a point of interest today, maybe investigate why SCP-5094, codename Miss J, is so popular today. I would like some information as to why Miss J is coming up so much today. Now, in the meantime, Kai, you're saying there's a gender stone where? SCP-113, the gender switching stone. For those who are unfamiliar, the gender switching stone, SCP-113, is a small stone that if it touches you, your flesh, it becomes completely fused to you for a short time. Every nerve in your body is set on fire at once. It's supposedly extremely painful, but you come out of it with your gender switched. If you are of a normal, if you are of a cisgender, it transitions you to the other gender. If you have a non-binary gender identity, then it does all sorts of weird effects that you got to be careful of. It's rather unpredictable. The problem is that every time you use it, there is a non-zero chance of death. Now, the first time you use it, it's a very small chance of death, but every subsequent reuse, the percentage chance of death gets higher, which is why we do not let staff members use it willy-nilly. So if you want to use it, it is part of the SCP Foundation's medical insurance care plan that you are signed up for by being a staff member. So talk to your on-site therapist, go around and get your paperwork done, and then when 113 comes to your site of employment, you will be allowed to use it. Twin-1, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as becoming a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. When are we going to unearth the secrets of 7143-J? How will we rest without answers? What secrets of 7143-J are you looking for? It is simply a doorknob that is rather efficient at being a doorknob. I don't see any mysteries to unfurl. The research log here is pretty thorough. So the safe for work doorknob is pretty well researched, I would say. What is your opinion on SCP Site 107 podcast from Spotify named Find Us Alive? Rust Dusty, I will have you know that podcast is fire. Its creators are amazing. And if you're not a Find Us Alive fan, what the hell are you doing with your life as an SCP fan? Find Us Alive is the premier narrative podcast of the SCP Foundation, and you should check it out. It's on YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere else you can get podcasts. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cookie dough flauta on your way past the commissary. Oh, and thank you for being a member as well. You're very calming to listen to, that I'm drifting into a light nap, lol. Honestly, I understand that feeling completely, and it's why I can't listen to Welcome to Night Vale while I am driving. It's a very fun podcast, but his voice is so damn soothing. It doesn't matter how awake I am, I'm gonna start falling asleep on the road. It's dangerous. So, yeah. That's unfortunately for me, I haven't finished Welcome to Night Vale because my listening time is in the car, and he's just so damn soothing. 049, thank you for donating again. There's a hive mind around, joined by saying the orb. Well, we just looked at the orb yesterday, and it was just a person who couldn't be perceived as anything but an orb. There was no hive mind around that. I mean, we already have several hive minds on the SCP Wiki, including favorite of the chat, SCP-8123, the fungal hive mind. But you don't join that hive mind by saying the orb. And in fact, you can't join that hive mind anymore because it died, which was very sad for everyone. Lincoln Games, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. For Discord members, me and someone else are in a pet battle if you wish to join. I must admit, I'm very discouraged at the idea that you are taking... We're not in the Pokemon universe. You just can't make animals fight each other here. It's not okay. It's animal abuse. I'm very disappointed. And this is nothing to say of the completely non-existent SCP Fight Club that definitely doesn't exist, and therefore there are no rules about not talking about it, because it doesn't actually exist. For sure, we are not betting on SCV fights in the gym after hours. That's crazy. I don't know why you would think about that. Laffy Taffy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some saltwater taffy on your way past the commissary. Is there an SCP associated with Groundhog Day? Groundhog Day, you say? Well, let me take a little look here at a favorite research page of the wiki database that not a lot of people know about, which is the SCP Holiday Hub. The SCP Holiday Hub is a list of holidays and associated SCPs with them. So you can see the April Fool's Day SCPs. You can see the Arbor Day SCP. There's only one of them. You can see the several SCPs about birthdays in one way or another. The Carnival of Venice, Christmas, obviously has a lot. Day of the Dead, Easter, Father's Day. But you wanted Groundhog Day, which it turns out doesn't exist. You're kidding me. You're telling me all these holidays and we don't have Groundhog Day? Oh, you lie to me. Don't you fib to me. I am certain I've heard of this at one point. Groundhog Day. All right, well, it seems like Dr. Daryl Lloyd got stuck in a Groundhog Day loop. That's a time loop, so it's not literally Groundhog Day. It looks like every day is Groundhog Day in SCP-6814. Where is it? Boom. No, it looks like that was a lie. Every day. Hey, I thought... You lied to me. You lied to me, Crom. All right, it actually doesn't look like there's a lot of Groundhog Day on our database. And in fact, it's more often used as shorthand for a time loop, because we're all familiar with the film Groundhog Day, and it's basically codifying the trope of time loops by being one of the best time loop movies ever made. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. I told you I weren't anonymousless, and the being creepy should be the cause of SCP-2119. SCP-2119. The transmitting parasite. Capable corporate tongue, capable problem fulfilling skills. Oh, I remember, I think Radiger did a video about one of the content farms talking about this anomaly. Maybe? Maybe it was a different parasite. Either way, end of the day, I am not anomalous except for when I am, which is... Intern Nija, let me address the several ways this could be listed. As an asexual, I am not interested in any of your forward talk, if that's the way you meant it. If you want a horsey ride, you'd better be an absolute child. Because I'm an old man, and my back can't handle very much. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Pictures, it's pictures. Yes, pictures of dogfighting and catfighting is not okay, especially when you're making evidence of your crimes. Humph. Astral Phoenix, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you will do to help us win the battle against the White Names. And Alexia, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Polish sausage on your way past the commissary. And thank you for your Heartbeat Lemon Man. Cullivan, no, of how cute they are, oh my stars. Well, then why is it a fight? Why isn't it just showing off adorable animals? I thought it was a pet fight. And a pet fight is against regulations. Even in a place that doesn't have a SCP fight club, which we definitely don't have. I see we've gone to the, we've gone from the SCP-5094 part of the YouTube algorithm to the hashtag annoyed in asexual section of the algorithm. Alexia, thank you for donating a second time. You didn't even send a message this time, but thank you for your generosity. I'm seeing in the chat from Cullivan and America and Zeirdrin and so many other people that the like count is currently over the viewer count. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters, the best mobile task force in the whole of the Foundation and the #1 hot dog contest eating champs of all time, for your intrepid duty making sure that that like count keeps climbing, because when it does that, that makes the YouTube algorithm want to bring us more and more people. You know, sometimes we'll find some very interesting people along the way, but of the ones we can turn into SCP fans and make them go to the wiki, we will continue our efforts to support the SCP community and make it so more people want more SCP content to be made in the world. So we appreciate your service greatly, Mobile Task Force Psi-42. Torin, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a quesadilla on your way past the commissary. I accidentally left SCP-999 outside. Please don't tell the head scientist, please. And you thought you were safe telling the site director, who is above the head scientist. I really wish my staff were more intelligent. If you're going to do crimes, at least don't admit them to the boss. All right, facilities duty for you. I hate that you pronounce quesadilla like that. I'm sorry? Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some of those seasoned French fries on your way past the commissary. Sup, boss? Enjoying the coffee I left on your desk? Is that where this came from? I was wondering where my mug was, and then my coffee was here, and I didn't do it. No, he's making it purse. Zerdrin, I do not know what you're talking about. I am just talking about a quesadilla here in chat. A delicious quesadilla. James Wells, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Peking duck on your way past the commissary. Thanks for your content. It's always been fun watching you. Well, much obliged. I am hoping to have fun with the SCP Foundation and bring it to the people, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. Torin Sheets, thank you for donating again. Trust me, the head scientist is ruthless. Is it a situation where you should report their behavior or professionalism? Fill me in if there's a behavioral issue. Twin -1, thank you for donating again. If by some unnatural means you absolutely had to eat a Wondertainment treat, which would it be? All right, so here's the thing. I need to look up Wondertainment edibles because I'm not familiar with their whole catalog here. I'm not even familiar with a bunch of them. And in the meantime, GIF or GIF, it is not a graphical image. Graphical isn't a word. I don't care if the person who coined it says it's GIF. They are wrong, and I will not have it. Graphical. Graphical. GIF. Come on, son. All right. Wondertainment treats. Well, I'll start by going to the Dr. Wondertainment hub and seeing what is listed here. See, here's what I despise. I despise whoever made the Dr. Wondertainment hub. They are my enemy. Who are you? Who are you? Who did it? Let me give you my ire in real time. Who is my enemy? My enemy is friend of the channel, SCP author, Dark Stuff, who has been on the channel as an interview guest multiple times and is a really cool person who I appreciated hanging out with in the past. But you're my enemy today. Because the Dr. Wondertainment hub has a listing of dozens of SCPs, and only 3 of them have the title alongside it. What that means is I have no idea what any of these SCPs are. Look at this BS. Monstrous. Terrible. Whoever did this is a criminal. All you would have to do is put the title here so we could know what the anomaly is without having to click on it. Because there's so many of them. Why? Is what I say to you. So to answer your question, I don't know enough about the Dr. Wondertainment edible treats, and I don't know how to frickin' find them. So unfortunately, your question is very hard to answer. What if I look up Dr. Wondertainment candy? Because I do not want the voice-changing lollipop we talked about yesterday. I don't like that. Dr. Wondertainment candy. Bubble Bath Bonbons is SCP-1079. It turns your blood effervescent. And if you eat more than 4 candies, you die. So, not a fan. And that seems to be the only one that's overtaken the front page of searches because it was in a game or something. SCP-2983, Choco Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites. All right, is SCP-2983 any fun? I mean, it has the word explosion in it, so I am kind of worried. If you put the cereal in a bowl containing milk, the marshmallows will animate and vocalize. The marshmallows will sing a song typically regarding the importance of proper dental hygiene, exercise, and consuming a balanced diet before ceasing further anomalous behavior. I do enjoy that aspect. It seems nice. However, when consumed by subjects over the age of 12, it's reported to taste similar to unsweetened oatmeal. So it's, Trix is for kids, people. Okay, so, I guess that is... At least it's good for kids. At least it's good for kids. Just a Factory, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. The point-and-click game is sort of a demo for the 3D Life as Researcher game that I want to make, if that helps. So Life as a Researcher, that sounds more like a cozy game / lab simulator / Stardew Valley in the Foundation. And so for that, I think you should add 5031. And the gag of it is that you can't click on it because when you look at it, it disappears. But you have to find a note to leave in its enclosure and ingredients. And if you leave the ingredients in the recipe and then leave, you will come back and find whatever you asked it to cook. So I think that would be a funny mechanic for your game. It disappears when you examine it, but you can leave messages for it to get what you want. I think that's cute. Torrin Sheets, thank you for donating again. He made me clean his car 5 hours every 2 days. Well, that's not in your job description. What the hell is that about? That sounds like abuse of an underling, and I might have to file a report about this. Matt, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Do you also pronounce jalapeno as jalapeno? Yes. Twin -1, let me see you donate again. Thank you for donating again. Thank you for donating again. I guess let me see you donate again too. Why not? But thank you for donating again is what I meant. I meant let me see what you're saying here. Let's see if you survive Wondertainment Roulette. There is a very low odds of surviving Dr. Wondertainment Roulette. Many of that person of interest, anomalous toys and snacks are bad for you. Torin, thank you for donating again. Did you hear about the new guy that accidentally drank a vial of 008? What an idiot. We need to call Beta 7 to fix that. Accidentally ate a vial of a highly infectious zombie virus that was under lock and key. I don't think that was an accident. I think that was an assassination attempt. We really should be treating this as the security breach that it is. Sin, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a charcuterie board on your way past the commissary. I ate my first universe some minutes ago. It finally got approved. Thanks. It was a good meal. The fear and screams in that universe were delicious. Listen, we're doing our best to source some high-quality hell dimensions where the demons keep invading us, and therefore we can let you eat it without any ethical concerns. On top of which, it gives the Doomslayer a well-needed vacation. So, we're doing our best here. Also, since you were here and one of our more prominent membership gifters, told this to Javaname yesterday, we are currently at 1,700 and around 1,710 in total memberships, with our goal being 2,500 for me dyeing my hair pink and 5,000 for the, I can't believe you're making me do this, Cat-Made Waifu Dr. Sherman stream. So, yes, just letting you guys know the progress on our subscriber and membership goals. Talenton, thank you for donating again. One last donation here before switching to Ko-Fi. Be sure to check there too. What about putting SCP-294 in SCP-5031's enclosure so it can use it? Well, you know, the anomalous liquids that 294 can come up with are very, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Unpredictable. As well, 5031, while much more civilized than it used to be, still has crazy... it can play piano, though, so it can use a data pad. I mean, selfishly, I'm going to not approve it, because 294 currently goes on rotation in all the site break rooms across the Foundation. So, I don't want to lose access to 294 when it's our turn. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Then you know how I felt yesterday when I had to find the lollipop. Yeah, seriously. That author page gives me angries. Dr. Navarro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some flowers at the commissary because apparently you're going to die. Dr. Sherman, I accidentally swallowed SCP-420. So you took a big swig of the whiskey that gives you super anomalous skin cancer. Feel bad for you, son. Was nice to see ya. We'll see you in the next life. Nemesis Prime, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And Sin, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you get a membership from Sin right now, I hope you thank them for their generosity. Thermometer Shirt Man. How dare you? How do you pronounce what chocolate is made of? What are you talking about? Are you talking about cacao? Dr. Sherman, we may have an emergency. The winged spiders I manifested are missing. I hate you. I told you it was a terrible idea. You did it anyways. And now they are all going to burn. Every one of them. You're welcome for cleaning up your mess. What is the SCP that makes your body burst out with teeth? Well, I'm pretty sure we have multiple of those. SCP teeth. I think we have a lot of SCPs that make teeth come out all over your body. SCP-4667, codename I Am Become Teeth. Well, that one feels promising. Meanwhile, SCP-2450 is just codename Teeth. And all natural bodily orifices have grown at least one full row of teeth. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Yep, so I'm going to go with 2450 or 4667 as the answer to your question. And I hate them both. I hate them both. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. Can I feed SCP-682 420-J to try and pacify him? Number one, is that what you're doing with your last minutes of life? I don't know. Call your family or something. Meanwhile, no. Denied. Every time we put something anomalous on SCP-682, it generates a sonic wave that affects everyone around it with that anomaly, and then it escapes. So no. Sin, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself... No, you got the charcuterie board earlier. That was your first donation. Throws around SCP-41D3 and 73-J. Just having fun now. Why are you juggling racist Italian stereotype boxes of pasta? What is your fixation with that racist-ass pasta? So everyone's high and 682 escapes, but SCP-682 will also be high. No, when it does that shockwave dealy, it disperses the anomaly from itself. So everyone would be high except 682. It's a bad idea. Real Team, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Talented, you have a good night. We'll see you at the next stream. Dr. Sherman, can you confirm or deny the existence of the administrator to level 1 personnel? What clearance does one have to have before they are given knowledge about hostile groups of interest? Well, you got two separate questions there. The first one is the existence of the administrator is highly debated. Depending on the multiverse and there is no canonicity of the stories, the administrator is either long dead or still exists and puppets the overseers in secret. It's hard to tell what's true and what's not in that scenario. Furthermore, it's knowing about hostile groups of interest is not a question of clearance level. Everyone on staff needs to know about most of them because they need to be able to identify agents of them or anomalies created by them. So that's not something we have to worry about, is hiding groups of interest unless there are certain ones that people don't need to know about. Twin-1, thank you for gifting 5 Site 42 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got one of those memberships from Twin-1, make sure to thank them for their generosity. How is the Scarlet King being contained? You would want to look into SCP-001-Tufto's proposal for that information. Gay SCPs? Question mark. Yes, the SCP Foundation is a creative writing community, which means it's an arts community, and the arts typically attract a lot of LGBTQIA folk. So it is not shocking that they would write stories about their experience, and so we end up with a lot of gay SCPs. Much to the chagrin of very annoying people on the internet. Can I eat the racist pasta? We can't destroy anomalies even if they are annoying, so unfortunately I have to deny that remark. Are you one of those folk? Ocelot on pause. I, Dr. Sherman, am asexual, so that falls into the LGBTQIA spectrum. Although, my author wants me to inform you that he is cishet. And so to make sure that the representation is well within bounds of what we can expect of a intrafictional construct such as myself. Ow, I hate it when he does that. Thank you to the people who have, in the last moments, said cool hair and enjoyed my hairstyling preferences. We like to have fun around here. Sin, thank you for your 1-month member message as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the fighting prowess you bring to the battle against the white names. I befriend 682 even more now. We are planning to raid a different universe and destroy it together, then return back. We planned it in around 2 weeks. The things that are going on in your setting frighten me to the bone. Retro, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a parfait on your way past the commissary, because everybody like a parfait. Gulp, I know nothing about the administrator then. Good choice. Let's see. Light Steve, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a taquito on your way past the commissary. Hey, how you doing today? Love your videos. Well, I'm doing okay today. It's not a bad day at all around the Containment Hazard Assessment team here. And thank you for enjoying our videos. We're doing our best out in these streets. NCR Ranger The Void YouTube, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some candied corn on your way past the commissary. And the browser needed to reset, so I will get what you said in just a moment. Dr. Sherman, I'd like to retire from the Mobile Task Force. Well, if you need to switch gears to a desk job, I am sure that your commanding officer can arrange that for you. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. Last dono, what's your thoughts on Nalkins/Sarkics? They're gross, and I don't like them. Why can't I eat the racist pasta? Because we do not destroy anomalies unless we have to. We do not destroy anomalies here, we study them. We can't study them if they're in your stomach. Dr. Sherman, what happens if we put SCP-096 with SCP-830? Well, off the top of my head, I'm unfamiliar with SCP-830, so let's see what this mashup consists of. SCP-830, codename Inky Quicksand. Shifting pool that initially appears to be composed of oil and sand. Attempts to recover samples from the pool, revealing inert samples standard to the earth in that area. Any humans coming into physical contact with 830 are drawn into the pool, presumably killed. Retracting powers of liquids are remarkably strong. Although a sufficiently strong subject, severing the point of contact with liquid of 830 is sufficient to prevent the entire individual from being drawn in. Inanimate objects do not appear to be affected by the quicksand effect. So, the answer to this question is, it is possible that if 096 does indeed need air to breathe, then by being immersed in the quicksand in an inactive state, then 096 could be disposed of this way. But if 096 is activated while in the quicksand and not deceased yet, then 096 could easily escape it due to the force of its speed. Furthermore, if the faces of those who have been eaten show up in the quicksand, as this seems to say, that's just an easy way to get multiple people to see its face, and it might escape during that. So all around, this is way too unpredictable. I wouldn't suggest it. Snowy, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Is coming. Kingver, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself an iced tea on your way past the commissary. Is there a 100% way to become a D class? If so, how? So, there is no 100% way. I mean, if you're on death row, there's odds you get chosen, but that's up in the air. The homeless people we abduct, that you might get picked up. I don't know. The warfins, the war orphans, or as we call them, warfins. I guess the only 100% way to become a D class would be if you were one of the cloned D class. Because then you would be cloned and therefore be a D class. You saw nothing, by the way. Building on that, can you volunteer to be a D class? If you work for the Foundation, you are too valuable to be a D class. No one is that stupid either. At least no one I've met yet. You can be demoted to D class for various infractions of a high enough level, but you could also be terminated on the spot or fired and amnesticized. So again, that's not a 100% way to become a D class. I'm sorry, Warfins? Yes, intern silence. Obviously, there are SCPs that only interact with children. And so we need a supply of D-class children for those anomalies to interact with. And that is where the concept of farming war orphans or warfins is from. And you can see such a thing in articles like SCP-018-J. No, that's not the right one. I always get the designation mixed up. It's the trench coat. Which one is the trench coat? Control F, trench. It is 018-J. I was right. So wait, then what's the Super Ball? Oh, that's 018 regular. Duh. The Super Ball, the infinite bouncing ball, that is 018. But 018-J is the trench coat. Okay, yes. So yes, you can see the coining of the phrase warfins on the wiki within the article SCP-018-J. PCO, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Why are they specifically war orphans? Why not regular orphans? Well, let's see. The request was granted, and on 2016, July 18th, 75 D-class personnel, primarily but not exclusively war orphans, colloquially known as warphans, between the ages of 6 and 10 years old were procured and secured in a room with SCP-018-J. So this doesn't talk about why war orphans, but notice that it's not all war orphans. You are correct. Sometimes there are, in fact, regular orphan children as well. But I would imagine that war orphans are an easier supply to maintain in such a terrible timeline as we currently live in. Did you make them orphans or did you just find them? Well, come on now. We're cold, not cruel. We are not an evil organization by any means. Don't look at many of the protocols that we do. But, no, we're not making children orphans. That way we can abduct them and make them D-class. Although if we do have their death row inmate parent and then they die as a D-class, then they do by default become an orphan. Which, Anyways. Enough about warfins. You're bumming me out. Come on, get with the program. What happens if two SCP-096s look each other in the eyes? They kiss. Okay, Doc, what's the rules on skirts instead of pants? Easier to run in. Skirts that are of a regulation for Foundation work is fine. No, they don't actually kiss. I was joking. SCP-096 knows what it looks like, and it only hates when people who don't know what it looks like know what it looks like. Since it knows what it looks like, another copy of itself knows what it looks like, therefore it wouldn't chase it. The same way that SCP-096 is not affected by mirrors. What if SCP-067 spills all of its ink? As far as I know, SCP-067 has self-replacing ink. Though it apparently lacks a reservoir, the nib never appears to run out of fresh ink. In addition, the pen writes in iron gall ink, which is suitable for artists but would normally corrode typical fountain pens quickly. So there's your answer. It can't run out of ink. Happy Penguin Army, Mia, and Odyssey Jones. Welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Navarro, I hate to say this before you get desked, but a quick reminder to you and the rest of the chat that here at Site42 we do not mention Dr. Bright. That character has been removed from the majority of the SCP community due to the incredibly alleged heinous actions of the author, of whom Dr. Bright was a self-insert, and the closeness with which the actual Dr. Bright character was in proximity to those actions. If you want more information on this, we have a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright to explain the scenario. But that is why I will never answer a response about Dr. Bright, joking or not, because of this scenario. And you're okay. I see you're apologizing, but do not worry about it. It's something that most of the off-site fandom doesn't know about, which is why it does not pay me to explain it basically every day on this channel, at least once per stream. Because, yes, the SCP Wiki has something between 1,000 and 2,000 authors, something around 10,000 members, but we have 1 million subscribers here on YouTube, and there are multiple channels like us. That means that there's a lot more SCP fans who never go to the SCP Wiki, and that means they don't see the drama. So it's up to me to tell you guys what's going on. It's a whole thing. Blake, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a pack of candy cigarettes on your way past the commissary. Outer Deity from yesterday saying, hi again, I retrieved the hard-to-kill reptile. Those reality anchors are unbelievably annoying. Listen, don't make me get pataphysics on you, because you're not going to like what pataphysics does to you. Just look at what they did to SCP-3143 if you want to know why you should be worried. Oh, and by the way, there are 2 Dr. Bright replacement characters made by different community members that you can use as a replacement. Dr. Elias Shaw is the first of them. Neither one of them uses the amulet. That is completely gone from the lore because of the situation with the author. Again, the last death of Dr. Jack Bright on my channel if you want to know why. But Elias Shaw's whole thing is still being goofy scientist man, but instead has heterochromia as a symbol of when they take over someone's body. And then we have a newer one, Dr. Lachlan Cairns, and I don't know much about that one. Harvey Bishop, long time no see. How you been? Thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a packet of those gold coins that are actually chocolates on your way past the commissary. Hey, it's me again, the Shadow Skeleton SCP. I'm still waiting for my check-in. Please hurry up. Have you been waiting in a temporary containment cell this entire time? Wow. Things in HR must be really out of sorts. Well, I'll get someone to come over there. What is your personal favorite SCP? Well, intern free, I always tell you my favorite SCPs at the end of stream. It's kind of a tradition around these parts. Now, we are currently 90 minutes into a 180-minute stream, which means we have 90 minutes left. So hang out to the end of stream to see that, or if you want to cheat and know right away, you can go to a previous stream, because again, we do it at the end of every stream, so it'll be there for you. Blake Davis, thank you for donating again. Try me. All right, you asked for it. Referring you to pataphysics. They are absolutely broken. So I hope you enjoy being trapped inside a bad dragon branded dildo like SCP-3383 is. No, which one was that? 3883, yes. As I said, don't trifle with the Pataphysics Division. Yes, if you're unfamiliar, SCP-3883, codename, Dildos Have Dreams Too. Description, SCP-3883 is a green tentacle-shaped silicone dildo measuring 16.5 centimeters in length. 2 anomalous properties are associated with SCP-3883. The first effect manifests when SCP-3883 is placed in front of a reflective surface, while the second effect manifests when a human individual enters REM sleep within a 1.5 meter radius of the object. When placed in front of a reflective surface, the resulting reflection will differ in appearance from SCP-3883, depending on the type of reflective surface used. A brief overview of our testing is here. Mirrors show a normal reflection of the dildo. Liquids show a green octopus. Transparent or non-opaque windows show a green humanoid with multiple appendages hanging from the lower face. It appears to have a unguligrade posture. Technological screens show a green spherical organism. Features include a single eye on the front of the body and multiple appendages that protrude from the top of the body. Additional eyes are present on the end of the appendages. Etc., etc. And yes, that is just the beginning of this thing. And please remember, just like the SCP Wiki, it is recommended that if you come to a Site42 SCP Foundation stream or anything in the SCP area, you either be 18 or older, or with the permission of your parents who know you will be getting up to tomfoolery of an adult sense, because the SCP Foundation is a horror and creative writing community of all sorts of crazy bullshit. There will be cursing, there will be adult themes, you just gotta deal with it. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Boss, why is the Plague Doctor wandering around Sector 3, tossing a glowing pink stone in the air and catching it over and over as it walks? Thank you for correcting yourself on the proper pronoun parlance. So, listen. Wait, no, that's not right. SCP-113 is not pink. SCP-113 is red jasper. What is this pink stone 113 has on hand? Is it just a marble? Is it something else? Now I'm interested. Kingver, thank you for donating again. Who would win, Scarlet King versus Alto Clef with a gun? Clef is fairly powerful, but I am pretty sure that's not a winning fight for Alto. Desk, I think you would agree with me on that, but you may contradict me if it is within your lore keeper's knowledge. Yo, Dr. Sherman, do you think the Foundation or humanity would win if they fought? Well, in SCP-5000, we basically won against humanity and all of the groups of interest besides us. So, honestly, yeah, we're pretty much top of the food chain. Blake, thank you for donating again. You're going to have to try harder if you want to imprison me, sir. I make the Scarlet King look like child's play. And I can personally ask my author to delete the Scarlet King's article from the wiki if I wanted to. Pataphysics is broken. You don't have a shot. Calm yourself before you are deleted from reality. Who could even best the Scarlet King, really? Well, Intern Cuevas, if you go onto this channel to a video called The Scarlet King Declassified, I have done a rundown of what was all of the Scarlet King lore up to that point. It was many years ago. Obviously, more stories have been written. But back in the day, there were 7 ordained warriors with 7 magical anomalous spears that were able to avert the Scarlet King's apocalypse. There is also the Elder Death, of which the Scarlet King is quite afraid of. Excuse me, but which SCP-001 is the real one? Intern Danzo, that is not for you to know. There are multiple SCP-001s for the purpose of keeping the actual one shrouded in mystery. So, I'm not gonna tell you. Oh wow, I didn't know that? I've got to check that out. Yeah, enjoy the video. It's an older video. You might get some weird sound quality from back in the day, Dr. Sherman. But hey, we're doing our best around here to get better. Sound check, sound check. Do you read? Do you read me? Let me know when we're back. Okay, we're back, we're back. So yes, 079 tried to raid the stream, but it was easily deflected. What am I watching? Intern Flores, welcome to today's Site 42's Office Hours with Dr. Sherman. I, Dr. Sherman, Site Director of the SCP Foundation's Site 42, am here to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation for approximately the next 80 minutes. That's what's left of today's stream. We do this daily around these parts, so if you enjoy working for the SCP Foundation and want some more information, here we are. Also, God of Yami, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Twin Minus One, thank you for donating again. Pasta, want one. It better not be SCP Al Dente-J. I told you we don't eat anomalies. Is it non-anomalous pasta? Or are you getting facilities duty? Blake Davis, thank you for donating again. Any outer deity such as myself could kick his butt. Arrogant outer gods. If you knew a shred of what we deal with at the Foundation, you would not be so cocky. Oh, Orange Cloud, I apologize for missing your donation because I got distracted by the 079 raid. Thank you for donating twice to make sure I got it. Doubly apology. Sorry about that. The 079 raid distracted me. I figure you would be more worried about the fact that Dr. Pleag, insert Grug yelling it's loose. Also, for some reason, the camera had a filter on it. The rock was insert the color you said. Okay. We don't have to worry about the Plague Doctor having access to the gender switching stone because that is part of its agreement to help out with the mobile task force. That 049 can have free access to the gender switching stone. Now that being said, we still aren't quite understanding of the exact biomechanics of how 049 interacts with it because, as I said previously during this stream, 113 has a highly increasing percent chance of death with every use. And yet the Plague Doctor is extremely confident that it will not be killed by the gender-switching stone, SCP-113. I am not certain why that's the case, but if it keeps doing so, I mean, we haven't stopped it. Da-da-da-da. All right, chat's back. Harvey, thank you for donating again. You have 3 days to sort my check-in or I release the immortal reptile. Listen, I said I was going to help you out, but if you threaten me, things are going to get worse for you, not better. Keep your pants on. Blake, thank you for donating again. Oh, sweetie, what do you deal with at the Foundation is an average Tuesday for me. Now I'm just confused. Are you talking about anomalous pickles? Because yes, I would not be worried if I were talking about anomalous pickles, but I'm not talking about anomalous pickles. You are really misinformed. I see where all this unearned confidence comes from. Nesquick, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some chalky milk at the commissary, but it looks like your message got desked. Reminder of the rules, A, rule 0 is don't be a dick. B, make sure there's no slurs or things in your language. C, remember that we don't talk about Dr. Bright on this channel if that's what got you desked. If you feel like you can have this answered in a better way, talk to Desk, and maybe he'll clean it up for you. Harvey, thank you for donating again. Forget you, I'm leaving and joining Blake. Oh, Jiminy sakes. Security forces are going to have a field day now. Wonderful. Have fun with all your pickles over there. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Also, you must be familiar with the theory that the pestilence is just the ending of life being a possibility. And since it never says it has it, maybe it is somehow immortal, just a theory. Well, every life has a chance to end, but not every life is said to have the pestilence by 049. So I don't buy that theory at all. Have you been live for 12 hours? Every time I've checked in, you've been here. I was last live 24 hours ago, but for a 3-hour chunk, and then I was not online for a long time, so no? Do SCPs get television time, or do they have to sit there day in, day out? Oh, yes, SCPs, depending on their behavior, get privileges. And so board games, video games that are disconnected from the internet, television, all sorts of privileges are available to SCPs that behave themselves. We would never deprive a loyal anomaly their TV time. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. I kicked a reality anchor on accident. Those hurty. Well, they are the size of MRI machines. They are very heavy. So yes, be careful. They're also very sensitive. Dacha, good to see you in the chat. Good SCPs should get Minecraft. Well, Minecraft is among the games. We are working. I had it approved by the overseers. We're working on a site intranet that is not online by any means and is not wired through the SkipNet database. We don't want anything allowing for Anomaly to access that. But we are working on an intranet so that anomalies who are allowed gaming time can also play together. That is a privilege that we are working on bringing to reality. Blake, thank you for donating again. I'm bad at spelling. I was trying to say deal with. Yes, but I was having fun at your expense because you are arrogant. And so your failures lead to much mockery, which entertains the masses. Dr. Sherman, I want to play Deltarune. Well, SCP-049, our version has the final chapter of Deltarune already in set. So, yes, just don't brag to all of the people watching from universes where that is not the case. They'll be very disappointed. Kingver, thank you for donating again. Is Alto Clef with SCP-3108 able to take care of the Indestructible Lizard or the Scarlet King? Well, unfortunately, the SCP-3108, the nerfing gun, when used on 682, it did not make SCP-682 less violent. It actually made SCP-682 more capable of violence. You see, that's what made it worse to us, the shooters. Therefore, it did not help, it hurt our cause. I'm going to assume it's the same for the Scarlet King. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. Just kidding, I was just wondering if I can have a blanket. I'm cold. Yes, I will have a blanket sent to your cell. Thank you for diverting what your previous statement was. I'm seeing... Zilch, you seem to be being rather immature in the chat, speaking of SCPs and farting, but you do not understand exactly how correct you are, because of SCP-4032, with the codename Deadly Fart Berries. You see, these are berries that, when ingested by a human, causes them extreme gastrointestinal distress, causes them to fart a combination of hydrogen sulfide and methane, and they will continue to fart until they suffocate and die. Yes, these are berries that you will fart yourself to death. The SCP Wiki exists on the internet where anything can happen. Also, just to finish the job, in case you didn't think this was a weird enough SCP on its own, guess what site it's contained at? The Deadly Fart Berries are contained at Site 67. The terrible immature memes never stop! Desk, I know, man. I know. It's not me. It's in the documentation for 4032. God damn it. Specifically, SCP 6542, Milk Jesus, i.e. Jesus, could damn it for me. God of Yami, you are quite welcome, and yes, unless you keep bringing it up after we've told you no, it's fine. First-timers always get a pass because we know not the whole internet knows the niche drama of a niche internet community. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I'd rather have book time. Oh yes, we have a vast library of books for rental at the Foundation Site 42 library. You're fine. Divine Rose, welcome. Thank you for your first donation to Site 42's Channel of the Day. Make sure to grab yourself a chocolate-covered strawberry on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what's our policy for G-type summoners comp? Can I get a license to carry, or do I have to turn it in? I'm gonna be honest with you, I do not know what the hell that is. What policies are HR dealing with these days? My word. What the hell was that again? G-type summoners comp. I apologize. I have not the slightest idea what you're talking about, and I can't find anything about it to elaborate. So please, Divine Rose, tell me more so I can give you an answer. Harvey, thank you for donating again. I left a full description of my anomalous abilities in your top drawer. You're welcome. How'd you get in my office? You're not even classified yet. Dude, all of your screens above you, that's great. Yes, this is the Audiophonics Lab, which means my microphone is at eye level, and then when I'm dictating SCP articles, I can look up at the screen above me if I need to, but I don't need to look at it during recording. Guillermo, thank you for becoming a Site42 staff member. Thanks for subscribing. Dr. T, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Twinkie on your way past the commissary. 8 7-foot rot corpse tar hunger gore. We're just going to put you in a containment cell and let you sit for a minute until you can verbalize a little clearer. Harvey, thank you for donating again. You phase through the walls. Is that part of your anomaly? I didn't realize that. Guess I should have read the documentation. Is there an SCP that sings? Genuinely curious. Also, hair looks great. Well, thank you for the compliment on my hair. Meanwhile, I'm sure there are lots of SCPs that sing, but the first one I can think of right now is SCP-5987, codename Siren Head. Now, Siren Head, in this sense, is a French captain, Francois Aregnado, captain of the Duc de Danzig. The item is believed to be a preternatural being of some renown, although full description of its abilities is unconfirmed. What has been observed is that the anomaly is able to physically control the paths of other ships within eyesight, manipulating their sails and riggings any way it pleases. This anomaly has used this ability to run vessels and their crews aground, or dash them against rocks and collect whatever of value has remained. As a result of these abilities, it has become a highly successful privateer in service to France, capturing over 30 military or merchant ships in under 10 years. Am I wrong that this sings? I thought there was singing involved in this. Nope, no singing. I was incorrect. Okay, my mistake. No singing in that document. And by the way, that is not Siren Head the Trevor Henderson creation. As I said, it was a French ship captain. No, it was named Siren Head because at the time of writing, everyone back then was mistaking Siren Head for an SCP. And so this author wrote a SCP called Siren Head to troll people. It was very funny at the time for everyone but me, because I had to keep explaining it to people who didn't know about it. So I'll give it one more try. Singing SCPs. I'm sure that just one is not coming to mind right now. Sing. SCP-5031, yet another murder monster, learned to sing. That's very cutesy of it. Very demure. I believe SCP-4088 is a singing piano. that eats people who try to play it. Oh, great. It's the piano from Super Mario 64, but an SCP. Terrifying. Ugh. Horrifying. Dr. T, thank you for donating again. Help me, it's breaking my door down. He hungers flesh. Well, if it's an anomaly, then it's an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. But also, yeah, I guess we can get security to help you with that then. Harvey, thank you for donating again. I visit your office nightly for fun. Stay out of my office. That's the kind of thing that gets privileges revoked. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. I once stubbed my toe on a reality anchor at my old site and now can phase in and out of reality at will. I don't remember my old site number, though. That is not how reality anchors work. They, in fact, make things more real, not less. It must have been something else. What do you know about SCP-3812? Well, I know everything that's in its documentation. Good old Sam Howell until it found pataphysical supreme godhood. Jiminy sakes. Thankfully, it doesn't really want to screw with us because it could do everything. Which SCP looks the coolest, in your opinion? Looks the coolest. Okay, aesthetically pleasing SCP anomalies. And while I think about this, Flamingo, Rambly, and Andrew, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, and by the way, Site 42 staff, before I start thinking of cool SCPs, congratulations on getting 300 likes in today's stream. What a good job Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename The Signal Boosters, is doing today. And by the way, with a time check, we are at the 2-hour mark of this 3-hour stream. So based on that, you could easily get to 450 to maybe 500 likes if you keep up the good work. I believe in you, Site 42. All right, cool anomalies, you say. Cool anomalies. Well, obviously something like SCP-5514, codenamed the Dragon Slayer, looks pretty fucking cool because it is in fact a Jaeger. And I do love giant robots that beat up kaiju, so that's pretty hip. But for the lulz today, I'm gonna say, obviously, the coolest looking SCP is SCP-777-J, codename Dark Blade. Description: SCP-777, or Dark Blade, Blade for short, as he chooses to be called, is a white male of about 17 years old. He has flowing white hair with green highlights and crystal blue eyes that reflect a dark past. He is clad in ebony armor that he made himself. His effect on female personnel, which may not even be a supernatural effect, is very powerful. He is described as a, quote, smooth pimp, and is totally irresistible. He has chosen Iris as his bride, though to wed when his mission is over. His element is water, which he has full control of, and he has a pet dragon, who must be referred to as Set. Blade's power of water, as well as his supernatural skill with a katana, protects him from all harm. When he is attacked in any way, water shields will appear around him and deflect the attack back to the attackers. And then, over the course of the rest of this silly article, several SCP characters from the past storylines of SCPs are interviewed and given roles in the story of Darkblade. As Desk is very, very adamant about, Dr. Clef's interview. You are the one whom I've been waiting for? I am. Then I'm ready. Take up your true weapon and tell me your true name. I am Death Metal, the son of Satan, wielder of the guitar of weeping souls, half Saiyan heir to Son Goku. Then together, let us ride and cleanse the world. By the tears of Mephistopheles, it shall be so. So if you can't tell, SCP-777 is a parody of edgelord OCs that have always been common on the SCP Wiki. But this is a really good parody of that tendency. And so, Puppet Boy, please read SCP-777, codename Darkblade. You're gonna love this. Goku. What a Dragon Ball reference just to throw in there randomly. What does Goku have to do with anything? Intern Guggen, I just told you. Apparently, Death Metal, formerly known as Dr. Alto Clef, is the half Saiyan heir to Son Goku. Obviously. But yes, please enjoy the coolest SCP. You're welcome. Harvey, thank you for donating again. Sorry, I just like tidying it for you. You're so messy. Bull malarkey. I keep my office immaculately organized just because I don't dust. God, you're all so picky. Jimmy sakes. Divine Rose, thank you for donating again. Occult technology from outside the known reality for fighting and summoning demons. G-types are shaped like guns. Is this from a reality of some sort that I should know about? Some sort of multiverse or patafictional narrative level? Some sort of fandom that I'm not familiar with? I feel like I might know about this. Because depending on your site and their protocols regarding this kind of weaponry would tell us whether or not we need to confiscate it or not. Wait, what is it like being desked? A thing, what is that? Twin-1, being desked is when our moderator, Desk, retracts your message or hides you from the channel for spamming or being rude or other faults. To be desked is to be moderated. Desk, I am going to push back on you about this one. Saying this is the sexiest SCP I've ever heard of when we're actively joking about how cool Darkblade is. I'm going to say that is within the bounds of funny memes. Again, everything's subjective, but we're just doing what we can. Ethan Adams, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you will do to help us win the battle against the White Names. And thank you for your first donation as well as becoming a member. Grab yourself a kielbasa on your way past the commissary, and thank you for your cute, smiling corgi. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. I was told it was a reality anchor. We are known to lie, though, so I wouldn't be surprised. Can I have a snickerdoodle from the break room, please? Well, we'll have to run some experiments, because, again, reality anchors don't do that. But Yes, go get yourself a snickerdoodle before we run some tests. Kristen and Guest, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Kristen Dyer Wolfboy, yes, there is a video game company group of interest. They are called Arcadia. Funnily enough, we just talked about them yesterday's stream. Yes, Arcadia is the video game company group of interest. I'm going insane from the fake SCP-067. Well, intern picture, consider what it was like back in 2020 when everyone and their mother pretended / mistook Siren Head for an SCP. And then someone made a sandbox page of a fake Siren Head document, and then everyone thought it was the real one for months. It was infuriating back then, but trust me, we will weather the storm of the SCP-67 Kid parody. Just don't let it drive you insane. I see we're getting a new shift in the chat. Good to see you, Casper and Java Name. Time check, we are 50 minutes remaining in stream. 50 minutes remaining in stream. Let me know when you get documents about the SCP-67 Kid. Intern artist, someone has already tried to do the SCP-67-J article, but it got downvoted and deleted. It is rather hard to get these flash-in-the-pan internet memes into documentation on the wiki because most of the authorship doesn't take them seriously in the first place, and most of the people trying to codify a meme like that aren't putting a lot of effort into their articles, and we are a creative writing community with voting quality standards, so you gotta do a real good job to get something by like that. Junior researcher Sally, do not injure yourself at the gym. Be careful. Don't be like me. Give it plenty of rest before you go at it again with that particular exercise, or figure out what you did wrong with the form that caused you a injury like that. Our joke SCPs are only the peak of humor, like the butt ghost. Exactly, Puppet Boy. Why can't people understand that SCP authors are only interested in highly sophisticated forms of humor like the butt ghost? In fact, I think we all need just a moment to examine the masterful comedy of SCP-789-J, codename the Butt Ghost. So let me start by showing you its image. That way you know what we're getting into. SCP-079 or 089-J, codename the Butt Ghost. Obviously, it's a very short article which speaks to its intense writing prowess. Bad authors need to make very, very, very long articles because they have to fill it with all sorts of stuff to be interesting. Good articles can be short and sweet and still get their point across. And so, item number, SCP-789-J. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-789-J is kept in my toilet, and only I can talk to it. Description. SCP-789-J is a ghost that is a face. It lives in a toilet, and it talks to you while you poop. Then, when you poop, It goes, no, stop, ah, and then stops because there is poop in its mouth. SCP-789-J travels around in butts. You can only get rid of it by wiping. That is the moral of the story. Sometimes it kills other butts and makes them butt ghosts too. But it is always lonely because it is a butt ghost. Addendum. If you fall in the toilet, it eats your butt. By researcher James, age 11. So yes, I think we don't even need to discuss this article. I think its important literary worth is more than apparent just upon hearing its golden words. So, you're welcome for gracing your ears with this important comic achievement. Please, researcher James is based. Oh, of course researcher James is based. After all, I haven't even gotten into the joy that is SCP-682-J. SCP-682-J, otherwise known as the super bestest lizard ever. I mean, come on. The bestest lizard ever has big teeth. You could see some more experiments. The bestest lizard ever transforming in outer space. Because he can do anything. Harvey Bishop, thank you for donating again. You are not tidy. I'm going to go complain to Jesus. You're going to go all the way to Italy to complain about my office to an anomaly that has no say over my office. That's your plan? Inconceivable. Inconceivable. No, I am not in Italy. SCP-6542 is in Italy, as far as I remember. No, actually, I was wrong. Sorry. It's in the Marzek Church in Poland. Zielonka, Poland, is where SCP-6542 resides. How do you classify SCPs if there is a way? I'm new to the lore. Intern Sophie, can you tell me more about your question? What do you mean, how do you classify SCPs? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by your question. Harvey, thank you for donating again. Keep it tidy or I release Kane then. You are so finicky. Also, what's Kane gonna do? Kane's a friendly guy. What do you... okay. Okay, what is this? I got brought back in here in just 30 seconds. What is this? Intern Sparser, take a breath. You don't need to speak in all caps. Not that it's not allowed unless you're overly spamming, but I'm just telling you to calm down. You don't need to yell. This is Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. We are here to talk about the mysteries of the SCP Foundation. I'm answering your questions, in fact, including this one. Like the numbers of the -Js. Or so are you saying, how do we get an SCP, a designation number? Well, in universe, just in whatever order we find them, that becomes the newest SCP. SCP-1 was the first one, SCP-2 was the second one, etc. But then you have the outer pataphysical narrative level above us, where the SCP Wiki is a creative writing community, and there just people claim whatever slot is free in the current 1,000 that is open. So at the end of the SCP-9000 contest, which is currently ongoing, a new SCP-9000 will be chosen, and then the SCPs 9000 through 9999 will be open for business, so to speak. Harvey, thank you for donating again. I promise I'm safe, class. I don't actually do anything bad. I mainly sit here and watch YouTube or chat. Yes, but you can walk through walls, which instantly makes you a Keter class anomaly that will be in need of some sort of extra containment. So be careful on that loyalty plea, because you don't want to get us mad at you, because you are already a flight risk. What is the site that helps you figure out what your favorite authors are based on your liked articles? What you are talking about, Chester Factory, is called SkipperDB, the Skipper database. SCPPER. Skipper.com is where you can see all of the back-end information accumulated about the SCP database. Of course, it is a one-man project, so it's a bit slow. It comes some technical glitches from time to time, but it is quite useful. And in fact, I highly suggest the Skipper Chrome extension for your browser, because that will allow you to have some more information on SCP pages when it's available. For instance, when I open an SCP page, it shows me the title of the article, which it doesn't normally. Or it shows me the author at the bottom, which it doesn't normally. Of course, Skipper isn't working at this exact moment. That would be too convenient. Rude. Dr. Navarro, thank you for donating again. Doc, what's an ontological desynchronization event? Oh, brother, now we're getting into it. All right, I'm trying to find the exact article that speaks about this situation. Maybe I can see something in the K classes? K-class scenarios. All right. So now I need to go all the way. All right, and then I check here. Ontological. An ontological shift scenario. An ontological breakdown. That's all we've got on here. So I don't have an ontological desynchronization event on the wiki. So I'm wondering what you're speaking of. Harvey, thank you for donating twice again. No, I don't like going outside. You can relax. I'm going to say goodbye and thanks for the blanket. I'm going to sleep. All right, well, good night. We'll get you a permanent cell in due time. Doc, what is the difference between Ticonderoga, Apollyon, and Archon classes of SCPs? Java name. The difference is quite simple. Apollyon stands for anomalies that are basically world-ending events that are uncontainable. They take everything out. It is pretty much end of everything. It was originally used for SCP-001 when day breaks. Obviously, the sun turned into a deadly laser that killed everyone. And then the second use, I believe, was SCP-3999. Pardon, but that was kind of a meta thing. It wasn't actually Apollyon. But it could be, but it wasn't, but it could be, whole thing. And it basically came to be uncontainable world-ending scenario. It doesn't come up that often. Actually, a lot of SCP authors don't particularly like that classification. Now, Archon means that an anomaly could be contained, but if we did, something very bad would happen. And so we let it go. We don't contain it. And then as Ticonderoga, if we contained it, something very bad would happen. But also we can't contain it in the first place. So Archon and Ticonderoga are related in that they're both something bad would happen if we contained it. But in the Archon class, we could, but we don't. And in the Ticonderoga class, we can't anyways. Da-na, da-na-na-na, da-na, da-na-na-na. I remember the higher class researchers mentioning it after my accident, the ontological desynchronization event. But my ears were still ringing, so I didn't hear much. Well, although we don't have that on the database, it seems like what you're talking about is just a simple desynchronization from reality, which is not unheard of in the Foundation, although we don't use such a highfalutin language for it most of the time. But end of the day, we will work on rethreading you, stitching you back into reality over time. Eloise, hello, I am very late. Well, welcome. You are now at the 33 minutes left of stream mark. 33 minutes left of today's stream, so get your questions in. Dr. Sherman, you should still read Star Signals. No. What about SCPs? What about SCPs, Intern Moss? That is what we're talking about. Tell me, why does the Plague Doctor have a thing for the gender-switching stone? If I knew, life would be a lot easier, but I don't, and it's not. I do not know why it's so obsessed with that thing, but it is. How do we know that we aren't SCPs ourselves? What if we are only advanced class of anomalies and everything we believe that is wrong is right? Everything you know is wrong. Black is white, up is down, and short is long. And everything you thought was just so important doesn't matter. There's a simple way to know if you're an SCP. Are you an SCP article on the SCP database? Because if you're not an SCP. It's that easy. What can I say except you're welcome? Did you just fake drinking? Can you hear the sloshing? Desk, you are close to correct to answering Chris the Dire Wolf Boy's question, because if I were to have a Pokemon and it were be choosing my first Pokemon, it would have to be a Munchlax, because it would have to be an unevolved Snorlax if it's your first Pokemon. But then we would team up and we would evolve it to Snorlax eventually. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself one of those big honkin' chocolate chip cookies on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, can you tell us about any recent tests you've done? How'd it go? What did you think? Well, the important test that's got all of my attention right now is Steve with SCP-067. Steve is up to his 10th birthday writing out his life story. So we just got a couple more days and we will be able to clearly figure out what the hell happened last month. Intern Sparser. Okay, now this is getting confusing. The fourth time the algorithm has sent me here. You must have some entity working for you in exchange for a picture of a picture of a picture of the outside. Listen, Intern Sparser, the YouTube algorithm knows if you're a weird little freak nerd. And the SCP community is nothing if not weird little freak nerds. It knows you belong here. Stop trying to run. You're one of us. Welcome it. Chris is a slow writer, or Steve is a slow writer. No, Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, it's making him write his entire life story. Do you know how much goes on in a single life? He's gonna be there for a couple of days, man. Would you count the Power Rangers morphing grid anomalous? Yes, very much so. We would obviously contain the morphing grid, Zordon, Alpha, and I have not kept up far since the early days of Power Rangers, but yes. Bro thinks spinning a pen makes him look smart. And I'm right. Does Steve write everything or just the stuff he remembers? SCP-067 specifically writes your entire life story, even things you don't remember. So, yes, Steve doesn't remember anything, but the pen is making that up. Speaking of SCP-096, what if an intangible being like a ghost sees its face? Well, when 096 cannot defeat an anomaly similar to 682, it just has a panic attack, freak out, and stops. So that would be what would happen if it couldn't touch it. I saw someone here ask for a pen spinning tutorial. I can run that for you real quick. What you want to do, simply, is hold the pen between your fingers like so, and start by practicing flipping it horizontally, one way and the other. You do it too much, the pen will ride down and escape. Just reset it and start again. But get used to rotating the pen both ways. And then when you rotate it one way, catch it, and boom, there you go. Rotate it, catch it, and boom. Rotate it, catch it on top. Rotate it, catch it on top. Bottom, bottom, top, top. Bottom, bottom, top, top. And so you can rotate it both ways. If you want to do easy mode, you practice it with your palm up because gravity helps keep the pen in your hand. If you want to practice harder, like the hyperbolic time chamber of Dragon Ball Fame, you can fight gravity by holding your palm downward. And of course, naturally, you're just going to have your thumb up in a neutral handing position. You can even do a little wrist swing to give the pen some momentum. But you practice it with both hands, you practice it both ways, get good. You never know when an opportunity to have agile fingers might come in handy. CT and Ryan, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What if you printed a picture of SCP-096 and stuck it onto SCP-173? So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Did you know that the statue is tall, if not taller than a human? Yeah? Yeah? You could just look at its feet. You could just look down where the picture of 096 isn't. It's not that hard. You really gotta open up your mind to the possibilities, guys. I expect better of you. You saw nothing. How would you contain Freddy Fazbear if he was an NPC? Well, I think my brain is bleeding from reading that sentence. So, I don't know what a Freddy Fazbear is. But if you did mean Freddy Fazbear, it is already an NPC in the games of its series. So, as a video game character, it does not need to be contained as an NPC. It already is an NPC. Right? Okay, to everyone who's now like, okay, but what if you covered SCP-173 head to toe in SCP-096 faces? Do you really need me to tell you what would happen? Or can you use the scientific rigor that you must obviously have if you work for the Foundation, which you must work for the Foundation if you're in this stream. We don't broadcast to civilians. You are a staff member at the SCP Foundation. You're supposed to be the best of the best of the best. Can you not figure out what would happen? Can you not use your logic circuits to figure this one out? Do you really need me to tell you? Because if so, I'm demoting you to D class because you do not have the sense to work here in any other means. How hard would it be to contain SCP-173 in a high-grain silicon and rubber mold to stop it from moving? Mr. Drago, you have forgot about SCP-173's secondary anomaly, which is that it excretes a combination of blood and feces at a consistent rate of... How much is it? How many kilograms? SCP-173 generates approximately 17 kilos of offal every 24 hours. 17 kilos of shit and blood. That is 37.5 pounds. So whatever container you lock it into that's form-fitting is just going to rupture when it is filled with shit and blood. You think we didn't think of putting it in a box that could just seal it? No, we already know what would happen. Where does the blood and feces come from? Does the statue have a hole somewhere? Dr. Navarro, it doesn't have a hole anywhere. We literally don't know where it comes from. It's frickin' weird. But then again, so is everything we work with here. I feel bad for whoever has to clean that. Yeah, 3D class, making sure to tell each other when they're blinking. Twin -1, thank you for donating again. These $2 are haunted. Well, then it's a good thing that they're being held by a Foundation researcher who's good at containment. What is the chillest SCP you can think of? One that you would meet on the street and become forever fishing buddies with. Easy answer, SCP-008-J, codename Jeff. Super chill guy. We hang out on Wednesdays. Polygon, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. By the way, Solar Blaze and Intern Sparser, it is Jeff with a G-O, not Jeff with a J. Would I be theoretically immune since I can see through my eyelids while I'm phasing? Dr. Navarro, if you saw a picture of 096 while you were phasing, it would follow you until you phase back into reality and then off you. You do not get immunity from that situation. You are screwed in that situation. Which SCP do you think would be easiest to handle other than safe class ones like SCP-999? Well, there are a lot of SCPs that are easy to handle. It's not, I mean, there are over 9,000 SCPs right now. So plenty of them are safe to handle in multiple ways, so I don't know what you, just pick a random anomaly that's safe to handle. SCP-5175, the Death Knife. It's a knife that can, if you stab someone with it, it sends their soul to the dark dimension. But for the wielder, it's perfectly safe to handle. And it has the ghost of a dead samurai who can give you tips on fighting. So, actually quite useful. Do we have the X-Men in the facility? Well, Intern Wolf, considering that X-Men is a derogatory term for very simple SCP characters who are just dude with power, actually, we don't have a lot of X-Men on the SCP Wiki. What SCP should we just let the government control, like to use in war? Intern Drago, the answer is none. I do not trust the UI Useless or Pentagram for the Department of Defense to do anything decent with the anomalies. That's why we, the SCP Foundation, are a non-governmental entity. Our job is to contain it because we don't think they can do a good enough job. It's a job for the private sector, thank you. Now that said, I do know that there's some anomalies that we collaborate with them on, mostly unwillingly. For instance, the anomalous city known as Three Portlands is shepherded by the Unusual Incidents Unit because they don't want us involved. Are there any rabbit SPCs? Well, I gotta say probably not. The Shark Punching Center is not very concerned with rabbits. They are more about sharks and the punching of them. So I don't think the SPC is going to be dealing with any rabbits at all. Now, us here at the SCP Foundation, we have a couple of anomalies regarding rabbits here and there. Rabbit. SCP-524 is a common white rabbit, but its code name is Walter the Omnivorous Rabbit, so it can probably consume any material. Yep, that's its anomaly. It eats like anything. It just can eat any inedible or dangerous things. It can eat wood, steel, glass, and several kilos of radioactive material. So, matter-eating lad, but rabbit. We have... Yeah, there's a lot of anomalies named rabbit in one way or another on the SCP database. If you want to look into this more, you can go to the search function on the database for the word rabbit and you'll find what you're looking for. Bum 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 ba bum bum ba ba da ba da bum 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 ba bum. Dun 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 dun. By the way, Site-42 staff, we currently have approximately 10 minutes left in this stream. We also are 14 likes shy of 400. I think that Mobile Task Force Site-42 is powerful enough to get 400 likes before this stream ends. But the question is, am I right in my assertion? We'll soon find out. I'm worried about SCP-072 being in my garden. How do I check for them? SCP-072 in your garden? That's... SCP-072 is an entity that haunts beds. Do you have a bed in your garden? Also, by the way, Congratulations on getting to 400 likes within an instant after I said it. I was never doubting you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, because damn, you cannot stop the signal. Shiny. Soul Hunter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some sweet and sour chicken on your way past the commissary. We close the dimensional door under the cabinet. That being said, Carl is in a cell and wants to make a meat dragon. We luckily only had some injured staff, a few security injuries, and 47 mulched D-class. Well, can we get the mulched D-class back? Because that might be enough meat for a meat dragon. If not, don't waste any new D-class on it. I mean, some classify gardens as flower beds. That's not what we mean. 072 is beds, cots, sleeping bags are particularly fucked up, but they count. But it's not going to be a flower bed. That's a metaphorical bed. Supra Kid and Justice, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Would it mean that bed bugs would be haunted if we're using that logic? No, they are not literal beds. They are not surfaces you sleep on. And sleeping on a flower bed doesn't make it a bed either, thank you. Has the doctor with the TARDIS been captured? Intern Wolf, that is a particularly sore spot for me. I've been trying to capture that doctor for years. And did you know the Pandorica, the unescapable, paradox-proof containment for the doctor, it not only broke out of that once, it broke out of it a second time in the extended universe stories. Twice! There were two Pandoricas. That is some timey-wimey, that is some pataphysical bullshit. That is the authors pulling victory out of the ass of defeat. It is malarkey, not fair. Sophie, yes, hammocks count for 072. Logically speaking, the floor is a bed. Night-night, that is not logical in any sense of the word. It is not anything you can sleep on. It haunts man-made objects meant to be slept on. The bed, a cot, you're... The computer guy, it's been a while. Good to see you. What's happening right now is chat is testing my last nerve on the definition of beds. So would a bed of nails count? Funnily enough, yes. Yeah. Does a mattress on the floor count as a bed? Yes, it does. What about a dog bed? Do you want to test it on a dog? Do you want to test the haunted hand that comes out of the end of the bed if your feet are uncovered and skins your feet alive while you are sleep paralysis and forced to be awake and feel the whole thing? Because I don't want to do that to a little doggo. I feel like that's mean. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Soul Hunter, thank you for donating again. What about the city of Bedlam? It's man-made. Just because it has the word bed in it does not make it a bed. It is a city. Dancing Bee, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for ending our stream with a bevy of bee memes that are about to avalanche upon all of us. The Computer Guy, thank you for your 3-month member message. We appreciate your researchership here at Site 42, helping us to devise solutions to win the battle against the white names. Desk, we already said flower beds don't count. Does a sleeping bag count? Yes, a sleeping bag does count, but when we tested it, it had a very unpredictable result that we have expunged from the record because it was that bad. By the way, Site 42 staff, we are within 4 minutes of ending stream, so get your last questions in. Botox face? Thank you for saying I look young and youthful. This is just natural, baby. Remember, just because I'm asexual doesn't mean that I'm not attractive. This is all part of my evil and sexy plans, as they've been called. Remember, as per the Foundation Fitness Initiative, go ahead and work out and do exercising and eat well. It keeps you young. Java Name, thank you for gifting a single Site 42 gift membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you are the person who got that membership, make sure to thank Java Name for their generosity. Although we did just discover that it can give it memberships to people who aren't currently in the chat. It goes among all channel members, so the odds are they might not be here. But if you are, thank Java Name for the generosity. Fresno, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a churro on your way past the commissary. SCP that knows the Shadow Council identities. Which Shadow Council? There are a whole lot of Shadow Councils out there, man. Puppet Boy, thank you for donating again. Or no, thank you for your first donation of the day, I think, Puppet Boy. As well as being a member, make sure to grab yourself some flan on your way past the commissary. Put Burns in the dog bed instead of a dog. Can we fit Dr. Christopher Burns on a dog bed? I mean, if it's a big enough dog bed. But that is basically a human bed. What is your SCP Hear Me Out? Intern Snow, my SCP Hear Me Out is stop trying to fraternize with the anomalies. They are objects. They are not people. They are not for dating. Kaisel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a roast beef sandwich on your way past the commissary. Hey, say I accidentally got locked in an SCP cell by accident. What should I do? Well, facilities will come by and see if you are actually supposed to be there and lying to us. We'll be there soon. Brandy, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dinah, thank you for what I think is your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Wafa Thin Mint on your way past the commissary. Most veil-threatening aerial SCPs. All right, so veil means anomalies that will breach the masquerade. That means they would need to be object class. All right, let me check the ACS for SCP specifically. And disruption class is what means how likely it is to breach containment. No. Okay, yeah, so it would have to be Amida. So does Amida have a tag? Amida. Okay, that is the tag available. And is Ariel a tag? What is our tag for flight? Let me see the tag search. Okay, let me see the tag cloud. Oh, tag cloud, where are you? Page tags. All right, Control F. Aerial, no. Flight, flying. Can anyone tell me the tag for flying? Oh, there, my chat is now, finally. Airborne? Airborne. Please tell me it's airborne. That would be so convenient right now. EFGHI. Alligata. Airborne. Thank you. Who said that? Was it you, Dr. Frogman? It was you, Dinah, as well. Oh, how convenient that you were part of your own search there. Nice. All right, now I put in the airborne tag. So, Amida Airborne's search. Now, come on. Show me. SCP. Oh, now you're not working because I took too long. Is that why? SCP Airborne Amida. Why isn't it searching for anything? Maybe that means we don't have any airborne Amida SCPs at all. Interesting. This is a very specific ask, and unfortunately, I don't have an answer to it right now. I apologize. I don't know any SCPs that are extremely veil-threatening and airborne. Fresno, thank you for donating again. I mean, your bosses, which SCP would know them? Oh, the Overseers, the O5 Council. Not many SCPs, hell, not even the staff really know who the Overseers are. So it's not anyone I'd know about who would know. Kaisel, thank you for donating again. I ate the SCP that was in the cell. Well, then you're definitely staying in there. Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for your 3-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hi, Doc. How do you contain the sad nuggies? What the hell do you mean, sad nuggies? Is this an SCP of some kind? I have no... The sad nuggie of TikTok. Okay. I am unfamiliar with this entity. Based on what I'm seeing here, they are very small and therefore very easily contained, much like the living Legos. So, put them in a containment cell. Treat them like any other anomaly. Kaisel, thank you for donating again. Wait, am I locked in here? Why I ain't do nothing? You ate an SCP. That means there's something anomalous about you. So you're staying in there till we figure out what's going on. Do you not even recognize or even mention Gate Guardian? Uriel is clearly airborne. But it doesn't breach secrecy. It just stays there in the middle of nowhere. It is actually not that secrecy breaching. Hey, guess what? By accidental clicking, by random fucking chance, I found SCP-8800, an anomaly that is currently neutralized, but resulted in a partial lifted veil scenario. And it's tagged with airborne. An airborne anomaly that literally resulted in a partial lifted veil. Question asked, question answered. I am the site director of Site 42. I am unstoppable. And with that, Site 42 staff, we are 7 minutes over stream end. It is time to start the outro. This is the end of our office hours of the day. And at the end of every office hours, end of every stream, I tell you my favorite SCP. Sort of like a tradition around these parts. But I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating. But if you do want to read the SCPs that I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's SCP author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as others I contributed sound effects or voice lines to. And while you're there, one tab over from those SCPs, there's some links. Some links that people are very often very interested in finding, but not determined enough to do so. Too weak-willed. Too unclever. And I'm sure that's not you guys. I'm sure you guys can find the links. I'm sure you have the power. And while you're there at those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to support us monthly. You can become a YouTube Super Chatter or Ko-Fi donor if you want to donate once at a time. Either way, we appreciate you going through the effort to directly donate to us. It helps us keep the lights on for our moderators as well as our editor. So thank you for your direct donation service if that's you. And if that's not you, because you're part of the broke gang, you're part of the starving artist squad, trust me, we're an arts community, it's expected. And so, if you are still here in the chatting, if you are commenting on our videos, if you are liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that YouTube business, then you are an honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename the Signal Boosters. And because of your engagement, the YouTube algorithm gives us new viewers who we introduce to SCP and they go, oh, well, I think this SCP thing is pretty cool actually. And that's how we get them. And that's how we support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. And so Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename the Signal Boosters, we salute you for your service. Also, while I'm at it, Talenton, you were here earlier. I forgot to say it, but I see it now. Thank you for becoming a Patreon patron, as well as your donations and membership earlier. Talenton, thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a rough read. Speed round, 3999-304-3008, Boogie-J, 503151755-320-8980. Content warning on the last one, it is a rough read. Just 1 second. And while I'm at it, Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some tacos on your way past the commissary. Now, what about the giant sad nuggie? A bigger containment chamber. Ivo Robotnik. As Desk has stated, this is an adult stream. The SCP Foundation is not for the chitlins. If you are bringing a child here, that means you are allowing them to see this. It is on the parents and the people in charge to watch their children's intake, especially with SCP, which is a graphically violent and sexual sometimes place. So yes, cursing is quite permitted in the Foundation, unfortunately. So keep track of that. That is up to you. Pretty sure they're just role-playing. Well, in that case, you are in charge of your role-playing members as well. So, Site 42 staff, I've listed my favorite SCPs. We're at the end of stream. So, as always, I've been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation and Head Containment Specialist. I hope you've had fun. I hope you learned something at this Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast of Site 42. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. If you need a friend, don't look to a stranger. You know in the end, I'll always be there. But when you're in doubt, and when you're in danger, take a look all around, and I'll be there. I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say. I know they don't sound the way I planned them to be, but if you wait around a while, I'll make you fall for me. I promise you I will. The credit song is The Promise by When in Rome. Thor, thank you for your last-minute donation. Grab yourself some mead at the commissary, and we are not putting Mjolnir through 914. It will have too many non-predictable effects. So, yes, be careful. And all of you, be safe, be well, Site 42 staff. We'll see you in the next one.